All right, here we go. What is going on, y'all? People. Might have some family come and interrupt, bring me some coffee, so if that happens, don't freak out. Just start with some smooth tones from the Verselab, as it's very good at doing smooth tones. And this whole video is about tones, actually. Not necessarily going to, build out a beat in this one. You got this at the beginning, just for the fun of it, but really we're talking more about how do I use all these tones, these lovely tones that I get in the Verselab? How do I organize them, man? But before I organize them, we gotta bring in the bass. Speaking of bass, some of my favorite tones on the Verselab are the bass tones. They're straight up chill, super fatter in my opinion than the 101 707 bass tones. But Roland, in all their glory, kind of forgot a key ingredient, in a way, and that's how to organize all these killer tones. But, there are ways, there are workarounds. They've given us a few things that we can use. So we're going to kind of go through what you can use, why you might use the different ones, the advantages in organizing your tones. If you're starting out, you don't even know what good tones you like yet. I mean, we're all exploring our tones on some level with these boxes. That's why these boxes are great. It's killer tones, man. I don't like the rolling sound. Sorry. I just like goofing on people that say that. So, man, you got these tones. How do you organize these tones is the question. So, we have a few ways to do it. One of the first ways I would recommend is through what I'm going to call Tone Project, right? Because you can import a tone from any project, as you go. So, what I have done, I'm going to go load another project. And my normal projects just start on the first letter, but if I scroll all the way back, these tone projects I had purposely put a space in front of, so they're always at the top. Just if I want to go to them, You don't necessarily have to do that, but it's just easier if you get a bunch of projects. So if I wanted to do for instance, my keys, load my keys project. So, for me, I kind of separate them out where keys is piano, organ, electric piano, that kind of thing. Poly is polysynths, lead is lead synths, bass is bass, pads are pads. I could even have maybe a rhythmic one for kind of those tones that have some kind of rhythmic sequencing built in, So, and actually I'm anal retentive, so I keep track of this stuff on a spreadsheet. Yes, I'm a dork like that. So, but if I go here to, I don't think it shows what section until you actually record a section. I mean, you can, I guess in section view, it'll always change the sounds, but to me it's better in sequence view under section select here. And then you can see what actual tone I'm picking. So I got pianos. Depending on my track, might be pianos, E pianos. I got a keyboard off screen. Sorry, I like playing keys on keys, so. But yeah, so basically in all 7 of these tracks, you can just load 16 different tones, right, in each clip. So, to do that, you go to a track, click on that clip. Again, you gotta be in section select, and then just right over here, pop it in, pick a preset, pick a sound file, whatever, throw it on there, fill up all 16, go to the next. Keep in mind when you go to kit, because all these 6 default as tone tracks, this one does not, so you're going to have to do a clear kit, clear the track, pick it as a tone track, and then you can do the same on kit. So at the end of the day, you got all these tones. And it's So there's one, a great application of this is if you want to use the Verselab as basically a live sound module, right? It's a pretty inexpensive box, especially if you get it used. You go out live playing, just bring a MIDI keyboard and connect to this guy, and then pretty much, most people aren't going to use 800 different tones, right? So you might just use a track or two worth of tones, and just, you can map out, oh, my synth part on this is number 1, then switch to 10, and you can even set the different levels of the clips to match, and if you go into edit clip, I think it's under clip settings. Yeah. There's a mix level, right? So you can actually, if you change that mix level to really match the volumes across all these, it's just a press of a button and you're off and running. So that's a great thing just for live playing. But again, the other convenience is when you're doing a new track. So go to new track. And I just want to find a nice, keys tone. So I'm on my new track, pick an instrument. As lovely as the AX org bell is, and we all love it, big fan, I would like to bring in a different tone. So in this case, instead of doing the value knob here, what I want to do is, because that won't do anything, that'll give you some options: sound file, random MIDI file, preset, project, that kind of thing. Which actually, I say that. Sorry, I'm thinking of clips. Sorry, I remember we are talking project tone. So in the case of that, you can actually, I forgot. Yeah, you can actually be even on the note screen as long as you're on a tone track and not a kit track. You can even be on the note screen here. Go in, pick project. Pick my keys project, and the cool thing is it maps them all out, starting at they're talking about section 1 of the kick, so you can go through all what's on the kick track, what's on the snare track, all the way down. So I want this retro E piano. There it is, Or you can do it from the screen, like I said. Just pick your section, pick it. You can even keep going through them and try other ones out. It's just a really fast way. Now, when you change it, it doesn't change till you actually hit. If you're selecting, kind of like sound packs are. It's not like presets where it'll change as you turn the knob before you even select it. But in this case, yeah. So that's a great way to just use it, pick in from other tracks, to load those that way. So yeah, that's how you create a tone track. That's how you bring in the files from a tone track. That's a live case, use case for a tone track. So the other big one is clips, right? So for this, I'm going to go to just a different clip on here and mix it out here. So we're still. And you can see that did change to EP1. This is still back. All these default to whatever they defaulted to. So if I want to load a clip, okay, edit. On this one, if you want to load a clip, you can't do it from here. So this is the one you cannot do from the value knob, because that does not give you, it just gives you these options, and none of those are clips. So to do clip for that, you have to edit, and then press the clip, and then go up here. First option is load clip file. And this is going to be what you saved on your SD card as clips. I'll tell you my theory, my method of naming. And again, this is just one guy's organization skill, whatever. You can do it your own way. For me, I like to name my clips as basically the clip name. I might have to abbreviate because you get 16 characters overall, and I want a sequence number. Why do I want a sequence number? For me, I want to have different sequences. Like in this case, if I go two number digits, I get up to 99 different sequences, right? So I could either, and I put on 0, 0, and I'll show you this when I save one. I basically am just, that's just the tone with no sequencing. If I do a 0, 1 or higher, it's the tone with sequencing. So just in my brain, that's a cool way. An advantage of that is, let's say you kind of want to get a tone, but you kind of forget like the context of that tone. You don't remember what it was used like, what it sounds like in actual use. So I can click that, I can bring it in. You know, now I get to hear it. Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. Now from here, I got two options. I could either clear the sequence, pop back to less measures if I don't want that many measures, or even easier than that, I can just go to the 0, 0, load that one, and now I just got the tone, single measure. So again, it's a way for me to kind of have the tones accessible, but also with, you know, context, which is pretty big because I might forget. You know, advantage of that is also, you know, if you've saved, you know, if you find out that you've saved a lot of sequences for a certain, you know, tone, then you're going to kind of be able to quickly visually see what are my favorite tones, what am I using the most of, you know, versus if they're just all hidden in projects somewhere. And if you're like me, I mean, I have projects just named by date, and finding them that way is just tedious, you know, like maybe I used that tone there, maybe I didn't, I don't know, you know. So just having like all my tones in one spot on the SD card, you know. Plus with this, having two devices, I can move this from here to the 707. I can move tones that I come up from the 707 back to here. So it really doesn't matter what box I'm on. And then another advantage is just, I'm gonna call it just idea blending, right? Like I come up with these, you know, you come up with enough different clips, you know, some of them are just layers you're trying on, you know, maybe it worked on this one, maybe it didn't work on this one, you know, but you just got it there. And if you just kind of save them off, then like later on, you know, just a different day, different time, you can just mix and match, and like you just got all these pre-made ideas that you came up with, your own melodies, your own stuff, you know. So it's a way to kind of start building just a bank of your own ideas for you know, creating, arranging, and songwriting, and that kind of stuff. So I think that's a pretty good use of that. You know, again, it doesn't matter. You can go to any of these and just you know, pick one and just boom. Now, one thing you'll notice is it's going to be in whatever tempo you're currently in. So if your original project was super fast that this was from, it's going to come in here at the tempo of this project, which is the default, which is pretty slow, probably 70 or something, right? I think, yeah. So yeah, so if I bring it up, it's probably closer to what it might have been. And the other thing you do with clips is, if I kind of get out here, is you can actually, so let's say that's not the right key, you know. Let's say I need it, I don't know, 3.5 steps higher. So I can do edit, get on that guy, go to clip settings, and there's a transpose in here somewhere. Over the rainbow, yeah. So go up 3, and then now. It'll adjust as you go. It's funny. Wow, that's deep, bro. But yeah, so I mean, you can transpose that. I think that because there's also a key value in here, scale key. I think I read in the manual, I haven't tried it, I'll have to do that on a future video, but I think if you save off these, if you actually set what the original key was when you originally used it, and then if your project you're bringing it into has a key set, I think it will try to, like you have an option, I think it's an optional to turn on this overall system settings, but you can actually have the clip kind of come in and have it transpose automatically. So that's kind of dope. So I want to say, is that in here? I'm kind of curious. I feel like it is, but I don't know if I want to find it. Let's see, maybe it's under utility. Or not, it could not be. Maybe I'm tripping. I feel like I saw that somewhere, but maybe not. Or maybe it just defaults to that. So yeah, that is bringing clips in. You know, if you want to save a clip, see if I can find a project to save something in or from. Because I'm still, I haven't gone back to my old projects, and some of these may be terrible. So I warn you, can't guarantee any of these are worth a crap. As I hear humans in the house, maybe. Let's see. So is this the, all right, so we got the O-pads. That's one. You know what? Not that that's terrible, but let's see if I can find anything. Just right off the bat that I'd rather have. Da 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 da. Finding tones. Mining for tones. Yeah, I remember this saxophone thing. I don't know why my volume's maxed out. I must have turned some stuff down or something crazy. So I think that's there's my sax. Right? So that's pretty dope. So if I want to save that one, right off the bat, I know I need at least one character to free up my double-digit numbers. So, I mean, I could just take the O off soprano, would be fine. So, X sopran sax. So what I'll do here is I'm gonna edit, save clip. And we will go to, oh, sorry, it's AX, right? That's right. Forgot about that. AX. Clear. Oops. So. Mm-hmm. And again, I'm making this an 01 since I have a tone. So now I got that, and then again, as is kind of my MO on these, I'm gonna go back, get rid of my sequence here. Oops, sorry, I meant to do clear sequence. Clear the phrase. Let's go copy left arrow to have it again to where it's one measure. And now let's go back here, and now let's go save clip. Now I'm just doing the same thing. Again, this may be just tedious to somebody. I get it. This may be my personal anal retentiveness. So, don't feel like you gotta do it exactly this way, but, find some method that makes sense for your brain, right? That you will find useful. Sometimes what I have found is that even some things that are like kind of a beating on the front end, you're kind of happy about on the back end, So try to think future forward of how would I really want to use this. Again, maybe you're the type of person you don't have to organize anything. Maybe you just wing it and go find the sound. You're just super fast at the menus. And if that's you, man, good job. Way to go. All right, so there we go. That's how you save a clip. And you can decide what you want to do for, for drum kits and stuff. I do have some drum kits in here. I will say this. Let's say you had modified this drum kit and you wanted to save it as a kit. So, I did not, but let's just assume. Oh, actually, I did.
They glorify unnatural sex acts.
Yeah, I totally jacked with this kit. All right, so I threw my own samples on here. That makes me laugh, sorry. So in this case, one thing I would recommend before you save off a clip, if you modified a drum track or kit, I'd recommend going here and changing this from the default. Because when you first load a system kit, a preset kit, it stays on there. And even if you mess with samples, when you go to this, it's going to say Trap Kit 2, and then if I save it on a clip and I bring it into another, project later, it's still going to come in as Trap Kit 2, which really doesn't tell the story, So I might go in here instead and do like edit this, scroll all the way down to rename. And here I'm going to change it. You can have your own naming convention. I do K for kit. I do the number 1 for MV1. And then, I don't know, I'll call this, sample or something. My family's here, some coffee. There's humans in the house. That's what I love about condenser mics, right? They can hear anything. If somebody farts across the street, we can get it. Okay. But my wife's nice, man. She got me Starbucks, bro. How nice is that? What a lovely lady. All right, yeah. So, in this case, I'm saving the kit name on this clip to K1 sample, right? So now, the default is just Trap Kit 2. Now I've got my kit here. And now if I want to go and edit it and save a clip, boom, now it's got the right drum kit name. You may not care, but I'm just weird enough and innovative enough that's going to bother me. So anyway, that's pretty much all I wanted to show. Thank everybody for paying attention and learning some stuff. Hopefully you got your tones down, and we'll make some more actual music next time. I want to do some stuff on bringing guitar samples and doing some fun stuff. So anyway, just want to show that stuff. Have a good day and keep Verselabing.